Well, today's soundtrack shifted. Yesterday we explored the masculine shadow. Today we step into the feminine. The song circling my mind is Fade Into You. I want to fade into you. Interesting, because I don't think this song has just one meaning. I think it has three. The first is healthy attachment. Two whole people choosing one another, not because they've lost themselves, but because they found someone safe enough to be vulnerable with. The second is silent obsession. The relationship begins to exist more inside your mind than in reality. You replay conversations, imagine futures, project meaning into every glance. I look to you to see the truth. The third is the shadow. The obsession that refuses to let go. The one that cannot control the urges. The one that eventually snaps when the fantasy collapses. That's the danger of projection. When someone becomes your identity instead of your partner. So, let's see which version the cards are talking about today. Before I could even shuffle, 2 cards flew onto the floor. Interesting. Maybe that's the shadow. The part people don't want anyone to see. 3 of Cups, the Tower. Oh boy. Water, fire, emotion, destruction. Immediately, I noticed there was water in both cards, then fire. It's like oil and vinegar. They don't merge until something changes. The 3 of Cups is Neptune in Cancer. Security, comfort, nurturing, a protected place, usually a family unit. But sometimes, the very thing that makes us feel safe becomes our prison. Then I looked at the imagery. 3 cups, not 2, 3. Immediately I thought, triangulation. Not necessarily another woman, not necessarily another man, but something else standing inside the relationship. Because what we portray to the world isn't always what's happening inside the house. Sometimes the third person is the mask, the fantasy, the projection. Then the lyrics hit me. I look to you to see the truth. Interesting. Justice handed us the sword of truth yesterday. But here's the problem. If I'm looking to someone else to show me who I am, I'm no longer seeing them. I'm seeing my projection. Carl Jung believed we project the parts of ourselves we haven't yet integrated. Our wounds, our longing, our unlived life. That's why relationships become mirrors. We're not falling in love with another person. We're often falling in love with the reflection they awaken inside us. Then, I look to you and I see nothing. Exactly. Eventually, the projection fades. The mirror stops reflecting the fantasy. Reality shows up. Then another lyric, colored your eyes with what's not there. That's projection. We color another person with qualities they never possessed. Not because they're deceiving us, because our unconscious is painting the picture. We don't see them. We see the story we've written about them. Then, some kind of night into your darkness. Hello, eclipse energy. Shadow meeting shadow. Not darkness versus light. Darkness recognizing darkness. 2 unhealed parts finding each other because they're familiar, not because they're healthy. Then, you'll come apart and you'll go blind. Hello, Tower. The Tower isn't punishment, it's revelation. The illusion can no longer hold itself together. The mask falls, the walls crack, the fantasy burns. Not because spirit is cruel, because truth always survives. The Tower is Mars, the warrior, the protector, the avenger, power, aggression, conflict, revenge. Leading with lower vibration, lust instead of love, control instead of truth. If we refuse to let the old story fall, the tower does it for us. Because eventually, the wheel turns. The sword of truth arrives. The eclipse asks us to integrate both our darkness and our light. Women, and honestly, men too, spend so much energy polishing the mask, the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the image, looking perfectly put together. But underneath, there may be fear, loneliness, insecurity, a fantasy carefully orchestrated inside the mind. Maybe that's why obsession happens. Not because someone can't let go of another person, because they can't let go of the version of themselves they became inside the fantasy. The relationship isn't with the person anymore, it's with the projection. The wheel has already turned, but they keep replaying the same loop, hoping reality will eventually match the story. Then the final lyric landed. I think it's strange you never knew. Of course they never knew. How could they? Most of the relationship existed inside your own mind, behind the mask, behind the projection, behind the illusion. Maybe today's message isn't about someone else's temptation. Maybe it's about recognizing where you've been living in fantasy instead of truth. The Four of Cups reminds us that what glitters behind the veil isn't always what nourishes the soul. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do isn't chase the excitement, it's choose integrity, healing, and reality. Because every choice plants a seed. The question is, what are you growing? Until tomorrow, the investigation continues.